Hello friends, if you are on Medicare in 2026, do not throw away a Medicare, Social Security, or drug plan letter just because it looks routine. Some of these letters are only for your records. Some telling you that you may qualify for help, but one of them can require you to return a form within 30 days, or your extra help may end. That is the danger. Not every Medicare letter is urgent, but you cannot know which one you received until you open it, read the title, and understand what it is asking you to do. This video is a plain English government letter translator. We are going to walk through 5 letters connected to Extra Help Medicare Savings Programs and prescription drug costs, the LIS and MSP Outreach Notice, the Purple Deemed Status Notice, the Gray Loss of Deemed Status Notice, the Extra Help Review Eligibility Notice, and the Plan LIS Rider. If you have never heard those names before, do not worry. The names sound complicated because the government uses abbreviations, but the meaning can be simple once someone translates it. Extra Help is Medicare's program for people with limited income and resources that helps lower Medicare Part D prescription drug costs, such as premiums, deductibles, coinsurance, co-payments. Medicare Savings Programs, often called MSPs, are different. These are state-run programs that may help pay certain Medicare costs, often including the Part B premium, and sometimes other out-of-pocket costs depending on the program and your state. Here is the simple translation. Extra Help mainly deals with prescription drug costs. Medicare Savings Programs mainly deal with Medicare costs like premiums and in some cases deductibles or coinsurance. And some letters mention both, which is why so many people get confused. In 2026, this matters even more because Part D drug costs already have a lot of moving parts. You may hear about the 2026 Part D out-of-pocket threshold, but that does not replace Extra Help. The threshold only helps within the Part D rules for covered drugs, and your plan pharmacy formulary and Extra Help level can still affect what you actually pay. So before you assume your drug costs are correct, you need to understand the letter in your hand. Before we get into the 5 letters, if you are not subscribed yet, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. Medicare, Social Security, drug plan rules, and senior benefit notices change often, and most people are never personally walked through what these letters mean. I break these updates down in plain English so you can check them before a deadline passes. Now let us start with letter number 1. Number 1 is the Social Security LIS and MSP Outreach Notice. This letter may arrive around May or November. Important because it usually does not mean you already have the benefit. It means Social Security has information suggesting that you may qualify for help. LIS stands for Low Income Subsidy. That is another name for Extra Help. P stands for Medicare Savings Program. You receive a letter that mentions LIS and MSP. The plain English translation is this. You may be eligible for help paying prescription drug costs, Medicare premiums, other Medicare costs, but you need to check what action is required. This is where many seniors make the first mistake. They see the words may qualify and think, good. The government already knows. They will handle it, not always. May qualify is not the same as you are approved. It is not the same as you are enrolled. It is a signal to apply, check eligibility, or contact the right office. Here is a simple example. A widow gets this letter in November. She thinks it is only an advertisement and throws it away. But the letter may have been pointing her toward help with drug costs or a state program that could help with Medicare premiums. She did not lose a guaranteed benefit, but she lost the chance to check. So what should you do? Keep the letter. Write the date you received it on the envelope. Then call Social Security and say, I received a letter about Extra Help and Medicare Savings Programs. Do I need to apply for Extra Help, and can you tell me what information I need? Then call your state Medicaid office and ask, do I qualify for a Medicare Savings Program that can help with Medicare premiums or other Medicare costs? Do not just ask, am I okay? That question is too vague. Ask specifically about Extra Help and Medicare Savings Programs. Letter number 2 is the Purple Deemed Status Notice. This is usually one of the better letters to receive. If you get the purple notice, it generally means Medicare says you automatically qualify for Extra Help because you have Medicare and Medicaid, you are in a Medicare Savings Program, or you receive Supplemental Security Income, also called SSI. The plain English translation is this: you automatically qualify for Extra Help with Medicare drug costs. Keep this notice for your records. This is not a letter telling you to apply for Extra Help again. It is a letter confirming that you automatically qualify based on the records Medicare has. But here is the part people miss. The purple letter does not mean every drug cost will be perfect. You still need Medicare drug coverage to use Extra Help. If you do not already have drug coverage, Medicare may enroll you in a drug plan so you can use the help. You may also be able to choose a different plan if the plan does not fit your medications or pharmacy. Take Mary as an example. Mary receives the purple letter and feels relieved. Good. But then she stops checking her drug plan. In January, one of her prescriptions is not covered the way she expected. The purple letter helped her qualify for extra help, but it did not guarantee that every medication would be handled the same way by every plan. Mary's better move is simple. She keeps the purple notice, checks her drug plan, and confirms that her current prescriptions are covered at her pharmacy. If you get the purple notice, do 3 things. First, keep it with your Medicare papers. Second, check whether you have a standalone Part D plan or a Medicare Advantage plan that includes drug coverage. Third, call your plan or Medicare and ask, can you confirm that my extra help is active, and can you confirm how my current prescriptions are covered under this plan? If the pharmacy charges more than you expected, do not just walk away confused. Ask your plan whether your extra help is showing correctly, ask whether the drug is covered, ask whether the pharmacy is in the network, and keep your receipts if you believe you paid the wrong amount. Letter number 3 is the Gray Loss of Deemed Status Notice. This is one you should take seriously. A Gray Loss of Deemed Status Notice generally means Social Security has determined that you no longer automatically qualify for extra help for the coming year. Read that carefully. It does not always mean you can never get extra help again. It means your automatic status is ending based on the records they have. That difference matters. Some people see a gray letter and think, well, I guess it is over. Then they do nothing. The next year, their drug costs rise and they do not understand why. The plain English translation of the gray letter is this: your automatic extra help status may be ending. If you still need help, apply through Social Security or a Medicaid office. This can happen because Medicaid status changed, Medicare Savings Program status changed, SSI status changed, or the system no longer sees you in one of the automatic categories. But you may still qualify by application. Think about Robert. Robert gets a gray letter and assumes it means he has been rejected forever. He puts it in a drawer. But Robert may still have income and resources low enough to qualify if he applies. His mistake is treating the gray letter as the final answer instead of a warning to act. If you get this letter, keep it and take these steps. Apply for extra help through Social Security. You may be able to apply online, by phone, or by appointment. Contact your state Medicaid office and ask whether you still qualify for a Medicare Savings Program. Gather documents before you apply. You may need information about income and resources, including bank accounts, pensions, retirement accounts, tax information, annuities, or other income. Do not guess. Do not assume one small account disqualifies you. Do not assume you make too much without asking. These rules can be detailed and they can change by year. The safest move is to apply or ask the agency directly. And if you are an adult child helping a parent, this is one of the letters you should not ignore. A gray letter may be the moment your parent needs help organizing documents and making the call. Letter number 4 is the Social Security Review Eligibility for Extra Help Notice. This is the letter with the deadline. This notice is sent when Social Security needs to review whether you still qualify for extra help. It includes an income and resources summary sheet. The plain English translation is this: Social Security is checking whether you still qualify. You must return the form, and the critical part is the response window. If you get this review notice, you must return the enclosed form within 30 days, or your extra help may end. This is the letter that can get lost in a pile of mail because it may not look dramatic. It may not have huge red letters on the outside, it may look like ordinary paperwork, but it can affect your prescription drug costs if you ignore it. Here is the mistake to avoid. Do not say, "Nothing changed, so I do not need to answer." If the notice asks you to return the income and resources summary, answer it. Even if nothing changed, the agency may still need the form returned. Think about Linda. Opens the letter, sees questions about income and resources, and feels overwhelmed. She tells herself she will handle it next week. Then the letter slides under other mail, and the 30 days pass. This is exactly how someone can lose help without meaning to. Linda's better move is not complicated. She opens the letter the day it arrives, finds the deadline, fills out the form, makes a copy, mails it back, and writes down the date she sent it. Here is the step-by-step process. Open the letter the day you receive it. Look for the date printed on the notice. Find the form that came with it. Fill out the income and resources summary carefully. Make a copy or take clear photos of every page before mailing it. Use the postage-paid envelope if one is included. Write down the date you mailed it. If the deadline is close, call Social Security and ask what your options are. And if you do not understand a question on the form, do not leave it blank and hope for the best. Social Security, contact SHIP, or ask a trusted local benefits counselor for help. SHIP stands for State Health Insurance Assistance Program. It offers free Medicare counseling in many areas. This can be helpful when you are trying to understand a Medicare letter but do not want to be sold a plan. The key point is simple. The review notice is not just something to file away. It requires a response. Letter number 5 is the Plan LIS Rider. This one usually comes from your plan, not directly from Social Security. The Plan LIS Rider tells you how much extra help you will get next year toward your drug plan premium, deductible, and copayments. This is usually not the same kind of urgent deadline letter as the review notice. But it is still important because it explains what your plan believes your extra help level means for your costs. The plain English translation is this: here is how extra help affects what you pay under this plan next year. You should keep this with your evidence of coverage. That way, if your pharmacy charge looks wrong later, you have something to compare against. This matters because extra help can lower drug costs, but pharmacy charges can still depend on plan rules. Is the drug covered? Is the pharmacy in the network? Is your extra help level showing correctly in the plan system? Did the plan change next year? Those details still matter. You get the Plan LIS Rider, do not toss it. Check 3 things. First, does it show that your extra help is active for next year? Second, what does it say about premiums, deductible, and copayments? Third, does that match what your plan or pharmacy is charging you? If the numbers do not match, call your plan and say, I have extra help and I am looking at my LIS rider. Can you explain why my pharmacy cost is different? If the plan cannot explain it clearly, call Medicare. Write down the date, the number you called, and what they told you. Now let us make this easier. You do not need to memorize every government name. You need to sort the letters into 3 action boxes. Box 1 is Keep for your records. The purple Deemed Status notice usually belongs here. It says you automatically qualify for extra help. The Plan LIS Rider also belongs here because it explains how extra help applies under your plan. You may still need to check your coverage, but these are mainly documents to keep and compare. 2 is Apply or Reapply. The LIS and MSP Outreach Notice belongs here because it is telling you that you may qualify for help. The Gray Loss of Deemed Status Notice also belongs here because your automatic qualification may be ending, but you may still qualify if you apply. Box 3 is Respond by the deadline. The Extra Help Review Eligibility Notice belongs here. If it comes with a form that must be returned, do not treat it as a casual letter. Return it within the required window, keep a copy, and call Social Security if you are confused. That is the whole system: keep, apply, or respond. Here is your simple mail routine for 2026. One folder and label it Medicare Extra Help. Put every Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid, and drug plan letter related to Extra Help, MSP, or prescription drug costs in that folder. On the front of each letter, write the date you received it. If the letter has a deadline, circle it. If it includes a form, make a copy before mailing it back. If you call an agency, write down the date, the phone number, the person you spoke with if available, and what they told you. And before you throw away any Medicare-related letter, ask this question: is this telling me to keep a record, apply, reapply, change plans, or return a form? That one question can prevent a lot of confusion. Before we close, write down these 5 questions before you call Social Security Medicare, your plan, or your Medicaid office. Question 1. Do I currently have extra help for my Medicare drug coverage? Question 2. Do I need to apply, reapply, or return a review form? Question 3. Do I qualify for a Medicare Savings Program through my state? 4. Is my drug plan showing the correct extra help level? Question 5. What deadline is printed on this notice and what happens if I miss it? Do not let anyone rush you with a vague answer. You are not asking for special treatment. You are asking them to explain the notice that affects your Medicare costs. One more warning: be careful with scam calls. Real government letters may tell you to contact Social Security, Medicare, your Medicaid office, or your plan. But do not give your Medicare number, Social Security number, bank information, or personal details to a random caller who says they can fix your benefits. Use official phone numbers from your Medicare card, Social Security documents, Medicaid office, or plan card. If someone calls you out of nowhere and pressures you, slow down. Hang up and call the official number yourself. Remember the rule: purple usually means keep it and check your drug coverage. Gray means your automatic status may be ending, so apply or reapply. Orange means you may qualify, so check eligibility. Review notice means return the form within the deadline. Plan LIS Rider means compare your expected costs with what you are actually being charged. Do not panic over every letter, but do not ignore them either. Open it. Read the color and title. Circle the deadline. Keep a copy. Call the right agency if you do not understand it. Subscribe for more plain English Medicare and Social Security updates, and share this with someone on Medicare, someone who takes expensive prescriptions, or an adult child helping a parent with government mail. One unopened envelope can cost someone money. One careful phone call can help protect the benefits they still may qualify for.